something that's just so out of context. Okay, let's go. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Emily. I'm from Cambridge in the UK.
My name is Gabriel. I'm from Birmingham, which is also in the UK. And we are both at the Ponte Lungo School in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anyone watching, please let us know your name and where you are. We'd like to know.
Yeah. So we've got a focus today on imagination, talking about creativity and imagination, phrasal verbs, idioms. I think imagination is a good topic for these quarantined days.
Agreed.
It's an important facet of my life these days. Hi, Luca. I remember meeting Luca before. In Novara, yeah.
Novara, yes. I remember. I can't see the chat right now, but I remember the name and the location. Yes, Luca from Novara.
Yeah,
and Beatrice.
Hi. Okie doke.
Cool. Okay, so we've just got a warm-up question here. Can you come up with 5 ways to use a stapler, which is this object here, in case you don't know what a stapler is, except for stapling?
So maybe we should give an example.
Yeah.
It's quite a heavy, especially this one. It looks like quite a big, a heavy object. So you could use it as a physical object in different ways. You could use it as a weapon.
Yes.
I think
definitely.
That one's not on the list.
Ooh. Really? That's the first one that leaps to my mind, I think.
Yeah.
We're both clearly quite violent people. You did say it came to your mind first as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first one. It was just...
All right, okay. So what are some other ways that we could use a stapler? Okay, so Lucas said a bookend, yeah?
I have a feeling Luca has done this focus
a paperweight. Those are 2 very good examples, I think.
They're great examples.
And I think they're both on this as well. Yes.
Luca, what is a bookend? And in fact, also, what is a paperweight? Because they're both great ideas, but I think lots of people won't know what they are. Do you have any other ideas, Gabe?
I seem to remember having done this focus before, and I think that my memory is slightly distorted by what I remember.
Yeah.
You could use it to... I'm just thinking, because currently there's a pan in my kitchen that doesn't have a handle. I think you could use it to pick up, perhaps if you clamped it to the 2 pieces together, you could pick up hot plates with it, or hot bowls or something, if you squeeze the device together.
Yeah. Beatrice, do you have any ideas? In what other way could we use this object, this red stapler? So Luca, I'll explain what Luca's ideas were. A bookend is if you have a row of books, you want something to put at each end to keep the books in position. And a paperweight is something, if you have the window open and the wind is coming in, you put a paperweight on your papers to make them stay flat on the table. So In what other ways could we use this thing?
Always before you use it, you must find it. That's true. That's a good point.
Okay, Luca, that's great. A bookend is used to stop your books on the shelf. The paperweight is used to not let your papers, we'd probably say, fly away, because away is not a verb. So you've got a negative infinitive. So we don't say to don't let, but to not let. Oh, I don't.
Click back.
Oh, sorry.
Click back.
Can you see them?
Click back quickly, yeah. I don't think I would have read it.
Because I started typing before I had gone on to the proper things, I accidentally put it forward. To not let, or we could also say not to let your papers fly away.
Yeah, nice. And I would just rephrase your sentence slightly, Beatrice. This is a problem I have as well, finding these kinds of objects. I would just phrase it as, before I use it, I must find it.
Yeah.
And you can speak generally about that being a problem just in using the simple present tense. Before I use it, I must find it.
Yeah.
Nice. What else? I saw a few of those come up.
Yeah, good job, guys. That's really nice. Well, shall we put them up and then we could talk through some of the vocab?
Go for it. Ah, yes. As a doorstop.
Oh, weapon was there. Okay. When I find it, generally it is empty.
Yeah.
Luckily, Beatrice, in this exercise, it doesn't matter if it's empty, because we can use it in all of these different ways, even if it doesn't have the staples inside.
As a doorstop.
What's that then?
So to if you open a door and the door naturally closes, you could put the staple in front of the door to stop it from closing. So you can block the door. You can put the staple as a doorstop.
Paperweight we talked about. Luca gave us a good definition. Mm-hmm. Weapon was what I suggested, and we talked about it at the beginning. A weapon is something you use to harm or damage another person.
I have a knife here, but a weapon. This is a weapon.
Yeah. So a gun is a type of weapon also, or a sword, or a stapler.
As so we covered as a bookend, as a nutcracker. So a nutcracker is the object, the device that we use to break open nut shells, nut cases. A nutcracker. You squeeze the ends and it breaks open the nut case. I think that's over-explained.
Yeah, nutcracker's a bit difficult to explain, though.
It's true.
Yeah. There is a direct translation in English. It's also the name of a ballet. If you think of the Christmas ballet.
The Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker.
And
I was in that once.
Maybe you could give us the Italian translation, and then we will know that you understand what a nutcracker is, because it's quite tricky to understand.
It's quite obscure as a word, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, as a fake telephone to play with a child. That could work. If you want to pretend to speak on the phone. And then we've got
As a hammer.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your turn anyway.
The object you use to trying not to use the word hammer here, to push a nail into a wall, to push a kind of
Stepanochi, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
You yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Several different.
And finally, to scrape ice off your car. So not usually a problem in Italy, but if you wake up in the morning after a very cold night, sometimes on the front window, on the windscreen of your car, there could be ice. And then you need to scrape the ice off the window before you can drive. So you could maybe use this stapler for that as well.
Luca says nutcracker in Italian is schiaccianoci. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well,
okay.
So
After you.
read the text and find 7 new words or phrases about imagination. Where it says here 7 new words or phrases, really, guys, we want 7 verbs. 7 verbs in this text to do with imagination or creativity. But Gabe and I will read through it.
Ooh, your mic's a bit weird, Emily.
Is this any better?
That's better, yeah. You went like full black metal there. It was.
I was just saying, we don't want 7 words or phrases, but.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry, I'm just commenting on Luke. Yeah, the hammers. The hammers, yeah.
Yes. Yes. So 7 verbs to do with imagination or creativity. And then Gabe and I will read through the text as well. Gabe, do you want to read to express?
Yep. Okay. So only very imaginative people can create children's books. And if you think about it, the world would be very different if J.K. Rowling had not dreamt up the world of Harry Potter. She was daydreaming on a train when she first came up with the idea of the Hogwarts Express.
The first thing she did was write down all her ideas, and then she brainstormed some more. She thought of keeping the stories for her daughter, but 7 years later, Harry Potter was in bookshops all over the world. So, verbs to do with imagination or creativity in this text.
And there are a few more, aren't there, than... Oh, I see. You've gone just with verbs. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Well, the ones that it underlines are just the verbs.
Yeah. No, understood.
Anyone watching? Yeah. Oh,
here we go.
Great.
Dreamt up. Yeah.
Because we've got 5 between the two of them. We've got 5 there. Yeah. So.
Dreamt up. Excellent.
Yeah. Luca has said create and think about.
Think about, yeah.
And then
we have dreamt up from Beatrice.
Dreamt up
and
and daydream.
daydreaming.
There's one. So the next one, Luca's got brainstorm down here. There's another in this sentence here. She was daydreaming on a train when she first came up with the idea of the Hogwarts Express. There's another phrasal verb in there to do with came up with.
Excellent. And then brainstormed, as you said, Luca.
Good.
And then there's one final one in the last sentence.
It's very similar to another one of the verbs here. It's just a change of preposition. Thought of. Great. Okay. Okay, so I think, okay, so now we need to practice using some of these verbs in context, in the correct situation. Okay. Two of these, I think, are very similar. I think maybe two of them are interchangeable. So
if we start with the first one, how did you, the idea of painting the walls in different colors?
Yeah. And guys, you can use the meaning of the sentence, but you can also use the grammar of the verbs. So if we look, we've got dreams up here. We've got this S. What does that S mean? Here we've got a verb in the past tense created. We've got an ing verb. We've got a capital letter. So there are lots of extra hints in the grammar. Oh, and Beatrice, yes, thought of, exactly. Thought of, from the last page.
From the last slide, yeah.
Good, Luca. I think Luca's got it.
Super. Come up with here in kind of the sense of inventing an idea, isn't it, really? How did you come up with the idea of painting the walls in different colors?
Yeah. I think to come up with something is to have a new idea.
To have the new,
new. You could come up with an idea, maybe you could come up with a new invention. Usually an idea, though, I think, is the object.
Yeah, come up with is used for thoughts, I think, more than the physical manifestation of things.
Yeah. And I think
those words have Italian derivatives, so don't criticize me.
I was just sniggering quietly.
So great stuff, Luca. Number 2, your favorite film. Why is it so special to you? Yeah, great.
Well, no, Beatrice was saying for number 1, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So if you think about something, Beatrice, it's not necessarily something new. It's just something that is on your mind. But here we're talking about like a slightly strange new idea, painting the walls in different colors. So we would use a verb to express that it's a new idea, like come up with.
Because an idea often has a sense of newness to it, doesn't it? It's not just like a thought that's already existing.
Yeah.
The idea is new. The thought is just there. We have an answer from Luca.
Yeah.
Think about. Yeah.
Good.
Consider your favorite film.
Yeah.
Think about your favorite film.
Yeah. And on the previous slide, we had also the verb think of, and in this case, it's exactly the same. Think of your favorite film. Why is it so special to you? Think about your favorite film. Why is it so special to you?
Do you think that think about perhaps a minute difference, but do you think that think about perhaps asks you to think in slightly more detail?
I do think
than
so,
think of?
A little more detail.
Because it's a very minute difference, guys, but I think think of would just be quickly kind of identify or just think, call to mind your favorite thing. Think about is slightly more detailed, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a minute difference. Number 3. Before Picasso, no one ever painting the way he did. Yeah.
Oh, I see. We've got thought of here as well. I didn't notice that we had that.
Yeah. So to think of, to identify, or I think it's perhaps closer to the idea sense as well. Again, isn't it? It could be.
Yeah, and I don't think the definition I've just written actually applies to this next sentence.
No, it doesn't. Which is why I slightly tailored my definition as well. I think about as you've written it is good. I think of could be both identified, but it could also be.
Yeah. It's almost like come up with
It's almost sense. Like come up with, yeah. It could be come up with an idea. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, we have.
We've got two suggestions here from Luca and Beatrice. So Luca's answer is correct in the sense of innovation. No one ever. Okay, I see why we've got all of these answers coming. But this is no one ever thought of painting the way he did, in the sense that he had a new thought of how we could do painting. A new idea of how it could be done. We wouldn't use create in this context. We could say, so if you think of paintings as the physical object instead of the activity, we could use create. No one ever created paintings with an S the way he did, because in this case it would be the quadri, the actual physical thing. This painting here, though, means the activity, not a specific object. So we couldn't use create in this sense. And also another thing, Beatrice, oh no, created it is in the past as well. So it grammatically would make sense too. Luca, do you mean for number 4? Dreams up. Again, for number 4, we need to be careful of the tense. So dreams up is present simple. We've got the third person present simple S. So it wouldn't work for number 3 or number 4. Grammatically, it doesn't work.
There's only one option grammatically that fits number 4.
Now there is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Okay, good. Very nice, Luca.
Created. Exactly.
J.K. Rowling created a world of magic. Okay, number 5. Before writing an essay, you should always ideas. And again, grammatically, there's only one possibility left because we have this modal verb should, and modal verbs always need one particular form after. Nice.
Good.
Good, good.
You should always brainstorm ideas.
What does it mean to brainstorm, Gabe?
To brainstorm ideas means, well, if we break up the word into brain and storm, storm usually is like tempestuous weather. It's kind of crazy weather. So I think a brainstorm means to have ideas and to explore loads of ideas very quickly, to have kind of a disorganized planning session, I think, of ideas, to come up with loads of ideas very quickly that aren't necessarily a plan so much. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
A storm of ideas.
Lots of ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
And for Luca's question, an essay is not exactly a topic, but it is a piece of writing with a specific topic. So it's usually you want to explain something to the reader, or you want to convince the reader of an idea you have, of your
like like a short thesis. It could be effectively an essay.
Yeah. It's an essay is what you have to write a lot at university. Often, if you study literature or art or philosophy or politics, you have to write a lot of essays to explain your point of view.
Number 6, I did not pay much attention in class and spent a lot of time.
Oh, okay. So, if we think about this grammatically, this word here is the It goes with this verb spent. And grammatically, in this in this type of structure, we need an ing form. So there's only one there's only one possible answer grammatically. But also, if we look at this first bit, I did not pay much attention in class. And if you are sitting in class at school, thinking about something different, what am I going to have for dinner? What do I want to do this weekend? This is daydreaming. We've got day and dreaming. Dreaming is what you usually do when you're sleeping, but we have this phrase to say when you're thinking about, when your head is in the clouds and you're thinking about something else during the day. Do you want to take that?
Well, in this context, for instance, Luca, to pay attention in class would mean just to listen, I think, and to listen to the teacher, to listen to the activity of the classroom, to watch out and to be careful, I think, are both closer to the sense of something dangerous is going on. So if you watch out for something, or if you're being careful, I think you're trying to avoid dangerous things. Paying attention could be a much looser phrasal verb to mean you're actively participating in and you're kind of aware of what's around you in a way. These are quite similar phrases though, and I mean particularly with watch out and be careful.
I think be careful is more in general as well, because if watch out, usually it's for something specific. But to be careful is more the, in general, you should be careful in this situation. But if you watch out, it would be because there's maybe one particular problem. Maybe we should give some examples. So I would say when you use public transport in a big city, you should watch out for thieves, for ladri.
Okay, so I'm just okay. All right. I mean, as a very simple one, you could say, watch out for cars when you cross the road. But you can also say, be careful when you cross the road. I think that kind of is an example of what Emily is saying with regards to you're watching out for the cars. That's a specific danger. Whereas if you say be careful when you cross the road, it's unspecific. It's just about yourself, isn't it? Be careful for general dangers. Does that make sense? Watch out for cars when you cross the road.
I think you and I have explained the heck out of those.
Okay.
So what about number 7, guys? Oh, well, it's there. It's the last one. Okay. John always dreams up crazy theories about people. So to dream up and to come up with are very similar, but I think if you use the word dream up, then it implies that it's something a little strange. It comes from your dreams, so it's going to be a new idea, but a little slightly strange idea. Okay, let's go forward. Okay. This is something we can all do together. Brainstorm, we've got that verb. Brainstorm ways to increase creativity and imagination. So we want to generate ideas, to brainstorm. Ways to increase creativity and imagination. And I'm going to try and do this without giving ones that I have already seen on the list.
It's an exercise in imagination itself, isn't it?
Ways to increase your creativity. Well, I've got one that I think isn't on the list, which is go to art galleries and museums. I think if you go somewhere, if you go and expose yourself to all of the amazing creativity and imagination of other people, it can be really inspiring. Lucas says, reading books and listening to music, absolutely. Yeah. Increase your imagination and creativity. Yeah, definitely. Reading books is an amazing way to expand your ideas. Beatrice, do you have any suggestions? Or Gabe?
I think that this is a very general one, but like try and make your own things from raw materials. It's a very general thing, but I think I think it kind of creates, it's a cyclical thing whereby if you try to make your own things, you discover new ways of doing things, that kind of thing. As opposed to buy things, make things. And I think you have ideas from your efforts to make things. I mean, this is such a general category. It could be, I don't know, woodwork, or it could be recipes, it could be cooking, it could be trying to build things or build, I don't know, draw maps. I think you can kind of self-engender creativity through trying to perfect a skill in constructing things or making things, as opposed to just buying things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's on the list because it's such a generally vague, but
yeah. But you just listen to music with closed eyes. Nice. And then maybe you will daydream about something. The music could take you somewhere. Yeah. Okay, let me put up the list.
I think some people might say meditate as well, which is I think too.
Yeah.
Spend time with children. Yeah. Trying to break down the logic of adults and kind of, I don't know, potentially, yeah. Listen to music in particular. Listen to classical music. Nice.
Yeah. So we could, Beatrice, we could say, or in particular, or just particularly. We've got read, like Luca said, take risks. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Improvise. Oh,
Stay
wow.
with little children. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, bed teacher. So you can see we've got that on this list as well, but it's good that you've come up with that. You've had that idea as well.
I think also, like, we have improvise as well.
Yeah.
That's quite a fake one, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Try something new every day. I also had things like spend time in nature, that kind of thing, which is away from the mundanity of city life, I think, perhaps sometimes. I often get take drugs from students as well. Take drugs.
Seriously. Some drugs in particular are good for giving you some new, strange new ideas about things. Okay, let's go forward because we've got a bunch of idioms. So we need to connect the start of the phrase, the start of the idiom, with the end. So maybe you have heard these idioms before, or maybe not. We've got on the right, we've got the cat, blank, moment, the clouds, the box, and thoughts. And then number one, he has his head in. I think I actually said this earlier today as well.
You did, yeah. For somebody who daydreams.
Ah, yeah. Such a grey day. Okay, Luca, great. That's it. He has his head in. Ah, you said the thing in Italian. Well, good.
Sorry about that, guys.
Curiosity killed. Yeah, great, Beatrice, that's right. Yeah. Okay, Luca's got them.
He killed the cat. Excellent.
I guess just by virtue of the cat being the only thing here you can kill. But it is a strange idiom, I think. Number 3. Think outside. Great, Luca.
The box, excellent.
Good, good. My mind went. This happens to me a lot. Perfect, Beatrice.
My mind went blank. Something that's blank, guys. I don't know if you know that word, but something that's blank is something that, sorry, there's nothing, so a blank piece of paper. is a piece of paper with no writing on it. It's completely empty. So if your mind goes blank, your mind is empty. I had a light bulb.
Nice.
Moment. Excellent.
Good. We've got definitions on the next page, which we might just have time. So, Penny, for your thought. Oh.
It's so hard not to say the. It's the last one, anyway.
It's the last one. It's fine.
It's the last
one. Okay, guys. So we've got 2 minutes. Let's try and connect the idioms with the meaning. So our meanings on the right are a sudden realization or idea, to think differently or in an original new way, being too curious will end badly, to daydream. What are you thinking about? Can't think of anything to say.
He has bad results in school because he always has his head in the clouds.
A, B, C, D, E, F. Number 1.
Yeah.
Good. Absolutely, Luca. I don't know how it's going to connect. Okay, perfect. D. Good.
2. You shouldn't ask so many questions. Curiosity killed the cat. How often do you say that, Emily?
Oh, most days, I think. I don't really like it. I don't like it as a sentiment.
No.
Great, Luca. Absolutely.
Too curious will end badly. Exactly.
Number 3. To solve this problem, we need to think outside the box. Good. Good stuff, Luca.
Excellent. My mind went blank as soon as I sat down for this exam.
Yeah, their teacher. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's right, Luca. Yeah. I couldn't think of anything to say.
Number 5. MacGyver had a light bulb moment and used a paperclip to unlock the door.
What a name.
I think MacGyver was an American.
I know. I've heard it before, but it's just whoever, wherever that name is.
Great.
Yeah, that's right, teacher.
Yeah. And so last one, I'm going to give you guys the answer because we need to finish. Penny, for your thoughts, when you want to know what somebody is thinking about. Okay. Well, good stuff, guys. Well done, everybody.
Yep, some of those imagination verbs are quite tricky, I think. You did very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.